By the end of this video, you should know what's the best named items to farm for your bow build. I'll include all of the bows that's best in slot, as well as some secondary weapons, and I'll also include jewelry pieces and armor. So let's take a look at the first bow here. It's called Whale Jar. This will come with Dexterity, Enchanted Flame Attunement, and then you can choose your last perk. Very good bow. Probably best in slot if you want Flame Attunement. Where can you get this? Well, you can get this from barnacles and black powder. A lot of creatures in there will drop it, as well as bosses. So it's quite easy to do. Just go to Cutlass Keys and go to barnacles and black powder and do the dungeon. The next bow here is probably the most popular one among the bow community at the moment. This is the Syncretic Bow. I got this yesterday actually. You can get this with Dexterity, Keenly Jagged, Enchanted, and then you can choose your other perk, probably Attunement or maybe Explosive Shot, depending on what you enjoy. But let's take a look. Where can this drop? Well, this can drop in Brimstone Sands. A lot of bosses can drop this. I personally got my bow by farming it in Heliopius. It's the elite area in Brimstone where the pyramid is at. So you can farm it just before that. I went all the way up to the cats and I farmed my bow there. But you can farm it just outside of the elite zone as well. Just take a look there. But pretty decent bow. Lots of enemies can drop this in Brimstone. And you should be able to get this quite easily. I got it twice, so quite easy to get, at least for me. Moving on to another bow here. This one is a little bit different. The Deep River Bow. This one comes with Dexterity, Keenly Empowered, Frost Attunement. So maybe if you want Keenly Empowered, I just wanted to include this. Maybe you don't like Enchanted. So I just gave you this option as well. Well, where does this drop? This drops in Reekwater. I also have this bow already. You can farm the big cannon guy in the Siren area. For example, Siren's Brood. You can go farm that guy there if you want to. Let me just open the map for you so that you can see. You can see Reekwater is here. And right here is the Brood. So hopefully you can go farm that. Pretty decent bow as well. So not too bad. But let's move on to secondary weapons. The secondary weapon I'm going to start with is a super good spear. The Keratin Spear here. It comes with Dexterity, Rogue, a Boral Attunement. So super good. Then you can choose your last perk if you're PvE, probably Enfeebling Skewer. So you can choose that one, or Keenly Jagged if you're PvP. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But just choose the one that you want. Since you can roll it. Where can you farm this? Well, I got this the same place I farmed the bow. At Heliopius. I believe you say that correctly here. Heliopolis. Yeah, Heliopius. Whatever. It's difficult to say. But I went up all the way up and farmed those two cats in the elite zone. You're probably going to need help. They're super difficult to do. But maybe get your friends around. Maybe they like bow and spear as well. Or just ask in chat if somebody wants to farm a good spear with a really nice bow. Then you can get this as well as your bow. So basically a twofer. But let's move on to another one. If you don't want that one, you can also get Life Ring Spear. This one comes with Vicious, Keenly Jagged already, and a random perk. Where does this drop? Well, it drops in Eden Grove. You can see it drops from Banes, but Banes is bugged. This is bugged. It doesn't drop here. You can see there's in Eden Grove, there's two markers. It doesn't drop from the first Bane. I think this is the one. It drops from the other Bane where you need to run across the bridge, go up to the tower. All the way at the very top, you will be able to spawn a boss, and you're going to be farming that boss, not the one that drops the trophies. So just make sure that you take note of that. This other Banes doesn't drop it, unfortunately. But let's move on from that one. Just a cool spear that you can also use if you wanted to. Let's move on to some hatchets, and some people play bow with hatchet. This hatchet, Deep River Hatchet, it comes with Keenly Empowered, Rogue, and then you can choose your last perk, maybe Attunement perk or whatever you like. This also drops from Reekwater Siren, so the same guy that I explained has the cannon on his back and the Brood. You can also go farm this in Reekwater. So you can also get this as well as some other things. Pretty decent, so make sure you go get this if you enjoy the hatchet. Another hatchet, this way you can farm with the bow, which is also pretty decent. syncretic hatchet, keenly jagged, rogue again. Like all of this, like some of these things are stupidly good for dexterity players. But it does come with a little bit of strength though, but unfortunately. But maybe you can use that to your advantage since the 25 perk is pretty decent. Where can you farm this? Also Brimstone Sands, just run up in Heliopolis, I believe, and then you can go farm those 2 cats. This should also drop for you. Pretty decent one as well. Moving on to Rapier, our Rapier enjoyers, life-hitting Rapier. This is also the extra Banes, which comes with Dexterity, Vicious Rogue. And where does this drop? Well, it drops in Eden Grove. Same place I explained where this Banes can be farmed. You need to run up the tower, remember. And then you can need to go farm this one. So pretty decent Rapier. There's a lot of decent Rapiers, so I try to include all of them. But obviously, there's way too much. Tying, Rapier, hopefully I said it correctly. Dexterity, Refreshing Move, Rogue. And then you can choose this. I think Refreshing Move, if you do evade and you auto attack, you can reset it quickly. I'm not quite sure, but I just wanted to include this one. It seems pretty decent. Also, Eden Grove. So, well, Ebon Scroll Reach. So you're going to have to farm a couple of bosses there. So good luck finding a good boss to farm. But pretty decent Rapier if you want this. We already had a couple that's super good. This one, Deep River Rapier, also super good. Keenly Empowered, Vicious, and the random last perk that you can choose. This one is also Reek Water. You farm it from the Siren's Brood. Already showed you where the Siren's Brood is located in Reek Water. It's the guy with the cannon again. So you can farm like multiple weapons at the same time, which is super, super nice. Moving on to another Rapier that you can farm with other weapons that also drop. The Keratin Rapier, which is Rogue, Keenly Jagged, and then you can choose your last perk, which is super nice. This you can farm from Brimstone in Heliopolis. So you can go farm that one. Just the 2 cats in the elite zone. The very top, farm them over and over again. And this should drop for you as well as the best in slot bow or the best in slot spear. So pretty decent. Like so many things that you can farm. Captain's Rapier. We're almost done with all the Rapiers. And then we'll move on to Jewelry. Keenly Jagged, Vicious again. And then you can farm this from Narrate. I think where does this drop? This is from Barnacles and Black Powder. So pretty decent Rapier. If you want to do this, you can just farm it from there. Easy. Just queue up and you should have it. Moving on to Rings. Rings has frost damage, poisoning, wood grain ring. Pretty decent. If you use poison shot, probably the one for you. Just choose Hearty on the last perk. If you want to, you can get this from Eden Grove. Also that Bane mob that I explained where to farm a little bit. So basically you get so many items for farming just one guy. So Banes again. Well, the Tower Banes, not the regular one. Then moving on to another one, nature damage. Sometimes bow players split their builds into nature damage or frost damage so that they can basically avoid the frost damage resistance on players. So I want to include this since it comes with nature damage, poisoning, and then you can choose Hearty. Some players do this. You can farm this in Elysium Wilds. Any named mob, probably farm an artifact while farming this ring and you should be good to go. So pretty decent one. If you want to do nature damage, split your damage, pretty good one as well. Moving on to Soul Pollen. This one is Dexterity, Leeching. Maybe you're in a Leeching enjoyer and you want frost damage, and then you can just choose Hearty. Where does this drop? Well, let's take a look. I think it's a dungeon. Genesis, just a regular old Genesis. You can just farm this. Pretty decent ring if you want Hearty, frost damage, and Leeching. So easy to do. Moving on to another ring, basically exactly the same, but this one is just a little bit more corrupted, I guess. Soul Shroud Ring. Leeching, frost damage, you can choose Hearty. Where can you farm this? Well, you can farm this in Shattered Mountain. So good luck with that one. Captain Forbes are pretty difficult, but maybe you run a chase run and you can pick this up. There's definitely an easier ring to farm. Just the previous one is way easier to get. Exactly the same, but I just wanted to include it. Maybe you're a bleed enjoyer with your bow with Keenly Jagged on it, as well as a bleeding rapier. Well, we got the red hot slag or slag, whatever you do. Slag is in my language, slag maybe English. So bloodletting, Hearty. And you can farm this from Commander Medius. Where is Commander Medius? Well, Imperium is a dungeon. So you can go farm this Imperium Forge. Hopefully you can defeat this guy. This dungeon is probably one of the more difficult ones. But you can do it in story mode, I believe. So not too bad. No mutation. You can just go farm it. Easy peasy. Moving on to some amulets. The Tangled Vine amulet. I already have this one as well for myself. I actually upgraded it. And I put stam recovery on it. So I health, frost protection, and then stam recovery or whatever you enjoy. You can farm this from Elysium Wilds. I just got this from farming an artifact. Actually, I got featherweight. And I got this ring with it. Well, the amulet, I believe. The amulet I've got with it, so pretty decent. Just go to the first light and you should be able to farm it, or Elysium Wilds if you're a new player. For a slash protection amulet health, this one comes from Shattered Mountain, I believe. Soul Shroud amulet. I already got this one as well. I just did a chase run, well, portal runs to be exact, and I farmed Captain Fort while doing there. Well, you can farm them if you want to in Shattered Mountain. Well, good luck. Hopefully there's a decent group going. But let's move on to the next one. I wanted to include something a little bit more off meta, I guess. Corrupted Prognator amulet. This one comes with health, refreshing recovery, and then you can do stam recovery. So basically all your abilities will reset and your stamina, so you can escape a little bit more easily. Where can you farm this? Well, you can farm this in Shattered Mountain, but I would recommend you farm Pit Lord. That's where all the trophy materials drop for the corruption trophy. I already got this. I got mine from the Pit Lord. So you can go farm this right there. Let's move on a little bit with the next one. The earrings. The keratin earring. You can farm this from Heliopius. So difficult to say. But you can farm this there. Just farm those two cats in the elite area. I think you can also farm your bow there. Your base and slot bow. As well as the base and slot spear. So if this drops, you're basically set with free items. Just from farming two bosses. So healing heart, regenerating. You can choose a refreshing toast. Or whatever you like on that. Maybe healthy toast if you enjoy it. As you can see, it drops from Brimstone. Moving on to another one. This earring can also drop from those cats that I just mentioned. Same one as the keratin one. Syncretic earring. Some people think refreshing toast isn't good enough. So you can go healing heart, fortifying toast. And then you can choose your last perk here if you want to. Same one as before. You can go to Heliopius or whatever. Damn. And then you can go farm it there. Farm the two cats and you should be good to go if you get this. Moving on to some armor. Armor is a little bit here and there. Sometimes we don't get many health items on armor. So the Azov Crystal Hat, always a decent one for any build. Enchanted Ward, refreshing. Then you can choose health or sharing heals. It's not based in slot, but it's very darn close. So you can farm this from Mutations 2. So not too difficult. Mutation 2, pretty decent. Not too difficult to do. You're going to have to farm quite a bit though. If you have enough materia and you can craft something, Emperor Zhao's set is pretty decent. Health refreshing. You can choose your last perk. Other shaking heals, Enchanted Ward, or whatever you enjoy. Maybe a weapon perk. This does drop from mutation free, but like I said, if you have enough materia, you could probably craft this for yourself. I just wanted to include it. I am going to include a heavy set here. I think elemental aversion, not too bad for range players, since they stay at range, I guess, since they're a bow user. But wood grain helmet, elemental health, and then you can choose shaking heals or whatever you enjoy. For example, this can drop from Eden Grove, also from the Banes mob. The Banes Tower mob, right? Don't forget, not regular Banes, the one that you farm in the tower, Eden Grove. So just make sure if you get this, it's a heavy set, but if you wear featherweight, you need two heavy pieces. A heavy head or a heavy boots or a heavy hands. Let's move on to some artifacts. Finisher, super good, right? If you enjoy the bleeds, then the finisher artifact, pretty decent. Where can this drop? Well, it's in Elysium Wilds, I believe. Let's just take a look at the mob location. I haven't farmed this yet. I haven't had really time. I've been super busy. So you can see Elysium Wilds. all the way on this island here. Good luck farming this. Some people farm this for hours and don't get anything. Others do it quick. So good luck. Also, life taker. Some people like to equip the void gauntlet and just get the extra rend on it. So life taker, you can also farm this in Elysium Wilds. You farm a monkey, I believe, a gorilla. So you can go all the way up here and you can go farm it as well on an island. So good luck with that one. I already got this one. Wasn't too difficult for me. I just popped a luck food and I got it. Now for something a little bit more interesting. Serenity. You can probably, if you're a greatsword enjoyer with the bow, then you can farm this from the PvP track. You need to be level 20 plus and you can go farm this. And pretty decent one. Not too bad. I enjoy this for PvE. So maybe you want to enjoy this for PvE as well. Then you can get it. Obviously, featherweight. One of the best light pieces for light armor since you gain a little bit more resistance. You can farm this in Elysium Wilds again. Just checking Elysium Wilds here. See, here it is. It's basically at the top of a tower. You farm this bird over and over again until there's drops. Already have this, and this is probably my favorite artifact for the season so far. Moving on to the nimble coat. This you can get from the PvP track. You do need to be 100 plus, unfortunately, but you can farm the nimble coat. Health refreshing, and you gain extra refreshing on top of it. Maybe you want to spam your abilities. Also a pretty decent option. Let's move on to the tumbler feet wraps. If you want a little bit more shirking heals with empower and some fortify, probably won't do you any good, but pretty decent set. You can get this from the season's pass at the moment. They eventually probably add this to the open world, and you just need to go take a look, but pretty decent as well if you enjoy it. And then for the attuned leather pants, this will give you a lot of attribute points where you can basically use for bow, since bow is so versatile with attributes. So you can spec here and there. Even if you go into strength, you gain like extra auto attack damage, extra heavy attack damage here and there. So pretty decent artifact, and you get it from just completing the main story. So hope this was helpful. If it was and you gained some items that you want to go farm, then give this video a like. And don't forget to go follow me on Twitch. I also stream there 5 days a week.